if you're not playing any sport, you will not be able to deal with life. Life will throw you so many challenges. If you've been a sporty attitude or some sport you've played or you play, you will be able to deal with any kind of crap.
Next up on the No Shortcuts podcast, we have an individual who's done more than 3 decades in the finance industry, and he's been through the grind, been through those long hours at work, but still found some time for health and fitness, which he later realized in life.
From 24 when I started working, 40, 16 years, used and abused the body, traveling like crazy. I started taking tablets for hypertension, sleep apnea I had cholesterol. I was on the borderline to start taking statins. I didn't want our daughter to feel that I have a sick father who's just dealing with all the lifestyle diseases. And I had to, inspire her to life. I can't set a bad example. So I took to something needs to be done.
From being a healthy kid to running more than 9 marathons today and doing cycling from Manali to Leh, he's here with us today to share his journey and life experiences and what he has learned from cycling, which he implicates in real life.
Feel the beat. We are rising high. Legends don't stop till they reach the sky.
No shortcuts.
It's about the work, no easy wins, just a focused mind.
No shortcuts.
The journey runs deep.
No shortcuts.
Now hear them rise.
Hi Ashwini, welcome to the No Shortcuts podcast, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Parth. It's lovely. It's a pleasure. I have seen a few of those and actually enjoying being here. So after seeing so many stalwarts already interviewed or being on the podcast at No Shortcuts, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
The No Shortcuts podcast, is our endeavor to unravel the untold stories, whether be it of individuals, cyclists or athletes, because we believe there's so much to learn from each other. And we want to share their learnings, their journey with a larger audience to celebrate the transformative power that sport has. And today we are very excited to unravel your journey and know about it in quite detail, like never before.
Thank you. Happy to talk.
So the very first thing we like to do is to get to know you a little bit more, how you came to be who you are today. So why don't you take us to the very beginning, about your early days, your childhood, your upbringing, leading up to today?
So, Parth, it's actually interesting, and I've after serving almost 28, 29 years in banking, many times I've been asked this, that what's led to the journey of me being me. And it's all of us individuals, when we grow, we don't realize that every small action of what happens at home or around you or your upbringing shapes you. It's only when you reach a certain stage in life and you look back actually that everything has had a role, whether it's your starting of course with your parents, grandparents in my case as well, or it was your school teachers, your siblings, your friends. But you kind of shape your personality based on that. So mine is a bit personality of developed of adaptability. Pretty much throw me into a situation and I don't get perturbed. I've been told that many times over, and I realize that that's largely the reason that where I come from, and where I come from is a Fauji background.
Is it?
I'm the third generation. Now a non-Fauji, but three generations of people in the Fauj. Both sides of my grandparents were involved, but my mother's side, in fact, my Nana and Nani both were doctors, veterans in the British armed AMC. Later the AMC, and they actually met each other during the World War in the Burma action. And my father, an infantry officer, traveled around the country. I've had to change about close to 11 schools, thanks to his career. We never realized the importance of that, or rather we never realized how it. But today what I am is thanks to kind of being able to just make friends every now and then. Cycling to school was a pleasure in those small cantonments. So I've grown largely across northern India. As an infantry officer, my father was posted across Jammu and Kashmir, Northeast, Uttar Pradesh as well, and Himachal. So that my overall upbringing has been in a Fauji setup. I was very clear that I wanted more flexibility in my career. I should be able to. There's a dialogue in Zanjeer where Amitabh Bachchan says that मैं जेब में अपना इस्तीफा लेके घूमता हूँ. So I wanted to actually own that dialogue and not be forced into a transferable job. Should be able to stand up to a boss and say that I don't like working with you or whatever the situation is. So I wanted that flexibility and freedom. So I said I'll try out what's in store. Funnily enough, the 92 stock market so-called scam, but the rise, not so-called, it was 92 scam, but pre that, the entire run-up to that started having an impact that the civilian life out there, the financial services is pretty attractive. But I had no clue about finance, and being a Fauji background, there's no environment to numbers, and anyway, I was very poor in maths and numbers, though I used to get zero in school at times. So it was the option of trying to do my management.
Right.
And I said, let's explore. So again, it goes back to the background of our how we grew up. So there was one of my father's friends. He had a short service commission during the 65. It was during the 71 action.
Okay.
The Bangladesh war, and he had a very so my father and he were very great friends. And there were 5 of them actually. One of them went on to become the chief also. So he had become a film producer after he could become a permanent commission.
Right.
And he invited us. My father by that time was posted in Delhi. Invited us for a dinner. That probably was one aspect which made me. I said no, it has to be private sector, because the dinner he took us out to was Taj. 5-star. So imagine armed forces guys, family having dinner at Taj those days in the 90s. I said, I want to be somebody who could take my parents to these places regularly. So I said, and
that hit you.
That hit me. That had
it was in a
very profound way that it stayed in my head for a long time. I actually told uncle, because when I came to Bombay, as he was my local guardian as well in early days when I was in Bombay. So I told him, I said, you had an impact on me. You may not realize that. And one thing led to the other, and financial services it was, because again, as a personality, while I may be all tenacious and adaptable, I'm also a lazy guy. I'm a people's person. I enjoy being with people. I enjoy having conversations. So I was kind of interested in marketing and sales as a career. So when I was doing my management, one thing I was clear was that I'm not going to sell soap and toothpaste in the sun. And North India's sun I had already experienced it enough in my as a growing up, right? So I'm not going there. I need an AC environment. Can't there be something in the financial services that requires selling? It was the really early days. We were one of the first few batches to become salespeople in investment banking.
I see.
There's a story around that also. It was just again, throw challenges, and I'm ready to take it up. So I got my placement after management in DSP Financial Consultants, because I wanted investment banking. But during the orientation, when they gave choices, or when we went around, so it was corporate finance, it was equity research, and under peer pressure, when there are 9 guys
sitting
and asking, and the head of the department or the head of investment banking asking you, what will you like to, which department or which function would you like to choose? Out of just pure, I blurted out corporate finance, and I knew I hated long reading.
Right.
Reading is not my core strength. And in those prospectuses of documents, who will go through that? But all that thought process in a microsecond just went away, and I just blurted out corporate finance. And as luck would have it, he looked at me, he said, no, I have something else in mind for you.
Yeah.
We are setting up a sales function, and I'll put you there. That's okay.
Okay.
And as you know, I throw me into something new, not tried, I'm ready to take it. I'm ready to experiment. And the rest is history. So I became a salesperson in equity sales, then fixed income sales, and then I grew into a sales into a sales function, and that was the air conditioned selling I was doing, which is not all hunky dory, but there are aspects of it which were hard. There are aspects of it which actually took you to some interesting places where there is no air conditioning. So I went and sold bonds to charitable trusts and regional banks in towns in MP and UP and some of them didn't even have a mode of transportation those days except rickshaw.
Correct.
So shirt tie, you're going on a cycle rickshaw to meet the chief manager of a bank, and the gentleman over there is wondering why you so overdressed. So have done that. The laziness part of it is more from easy casual life. That's why I also probably sometimes say I didn't join the army, because I didn't feel like being thrown around and being always on a run. The exercises and the physical training that I used to see my dad do do with the Jawans.
I know.
With the troops. I probably he actually put us under a PT Ustad also as to make us physically strong and fit. I used to hate it. So it was more probably in my I can't even call it genes, because both my parents were golfers and they enjoyed being outdoors. So I don't know how the laziness part of it as a character came, but that's how the financial services came, because I didn't want to be selling out in the sun.
And when you got placed, right? And when you stepped into the office of your first company, did you feel that, I've got the taste of Taj, that dinner?
Yes. In fact, it's a funny story. I actually, so on the night of campus recruitment, it was quite late in the night by the time I got my final offer. Through the day, the process had gone. And I actually... and my parents were not in Bombay, so my father was posted in a town called Mau. And those days, my mother was living with she was looking after my grandparents, my Nana. So she was in Delhi, so I had to make 2 phone calls to tell them that I've got a job. So I started off by saying that, so there was a PCO near the...
Correct, the red color phones.
Yeah, the coin operated ISD, STD phones,
exactly.
Right? You have to pay the guy, whatever saving you have every week you should save to make calls home, to ask for more money effectively. So I made that call to my dad, and I said to my father, I said, go and have a whiskey. So... go and have a scotch. So he said, what happened? So I said, I've got placed, I've got a job. So he said, okay, so which company? So I said, DSP. So he says, I'll have the whiskey later on. Which company? I said, the name of the company is DSP, DSP Financial Consultants. So there's no background of banking. Zero knowledge in my family about banking, financial services, how it operates. Today, my dad and me discuss about macroeconomics more out of his curiosity. He's keen to learn. He's keen to understand that why are they cutting interest rate. It hurts me. So I have to explain to him why they're cutting interest rates. Right. It hurts me in my savings, he says. So
he's very inquisitive about the work you do, and
and that's one thing which actually I enjoyed, and my second career brings me to that, is that learning and remaining active don't have an end date. Till your last moment, you should be curious about anything new.
Yeah.
And the way the world's changing, it makes sense.
It does.
Because you just mentioned about, did I get that feeling about
Taj.
About the Taj, and we were handed 486s, the boxes of computers.
Right.
They were called 486, right?
I don't remember.
The 486, and you had to just learn on the job.
Yeah.
None of us were computer trained. You had to learn on the job by asking, or just there was no Google search those days. There was no Google didn't even exist. So all of that probably and when I walked into that office, I did feel so. The DSP, when I mentioned to him, I myself ensured that my first salary I take them out.
You took them out.
I took them out.
Wow.
Took them out. I can't remember now where, but I did.
That must be a very rewarding and satisfying feeling.
Of course, it was. Coming from small towns, coming from
In a new industry completely.
Completely new industry, no background. I never had any mentors.
In a new
Nobody in the
city.
family.
Yeah.
Nobody in the family was a banker. Had no clue
Correct.
about how to just operate.
Absolutely. If you watched till here, I'm sure you're enjoying the show. Don't forget us to subscribe us on YouTube, on Instagram at Scott Sports India, or on the Eplog Media app. Now let's get back to the show. No, that's very nice to know. And since then, now you've spent close to 30 years in the banking space, in the financial industry. And that brings me to the next question that, a corporate job consumes so many hours of your day. And much of our time goes into doing the basic things, traveling to work, eating well, doing the work. And it's often very demanding and hectic. And sometimes what happens is health gets sidelined during this time. You start developing some acute lifestyle diseases which you don't even know that, this is happening to me. Later on, you get some signs, the body tells you, okay, you're getting your weight is increasing or something is happening. Did you also face any acute health problems?
I'm glad you asked that. So on an earlier part, you said, you can't imagine me round and podgy, and now a lazy guy cycling and running around. So yeah, the corporate life. It has its money was never a problem. Certainly, not that it was a problem but it was suddenly you had enough to go regularly to a 5-star. After that, it was the corporate ladder. It is enjoyable, but one needs to realize how to balance and value time. I did all the filling up the aspirational part of it, partying through the night. Those days, banking used to work on all 6 days. Saturday used to be working. So Saturday afternoon, come back from work, sleep quickly, and then through the night just party till Sunday morning.
Oh man.
And Bombay City can spoil you, right?
Yeah, of course.
So partied, lifestyle, started realizing, I started putting on weight. I used to be 70 odd kgs, podgy enough for a 20-year-old also, but 72 was when I came into the city in 1992.
Okay.
And I went all the way close to about 95 kgs or close to about 95 kgs. Waist size had become 38. I started getting I was hypertension. I started taking tablets for hypertension. I had sleep apnea, which I discovered I had because I used to feel proud that I'm going for a meeting, but during the cab ride I can sleep for 5 minutes, but didn't realize it's actually a medical condition I'm dealing with. So there's a discovery I did after that I'm not sleeping well. Sleep apnea I had cholesterol. I was on the borderline to start taking statins. All of this was around the age of 40. So from 24 when I started working, 40, 16 years, used and abused the body, traveling like crazy for sales calls across and financial selling is not it's
not talking to a friend. It is
exactly.
It's a purpose. It's a thing you want to.
You go
pitch
for
across.
a meeting, pitch across. Yeah. By the time I kind of in my early 40s, I was traveling around the world for selling. I used to sell India to people, saying that come and invest in India.
Right.
The food on airlines, you think flying is easy, going through
the body takes the brunt.
Body takes the brunt. You didn't realize all of that started creeping up. It was around the 30s. One day, my knee I was climbing up to. I was in ABN AMRO. The office was on first floor.
Okay.
I was climbing up the stairs. Coincidentally, just after my 30th birthday. So throughout the night, friends of mine had come down and we were partying.
Yeah.
On the night prior, and on the morning was my birthday. They all forgot, of course, but I had to get to work. So I went in and I was climbing up the stairs, and suddenly my knee went like a creak. So, am I getting old? And that scared me. And by the time I turned 40, a lot of things I started realizing that I'm not doing right. And I gave a lot of credit, inspiration, or actually you can say paying forward. I didn't want our daughter to feel that I have a sick father who's just dealing with all the lifestyle diseases, and I had to inspire her to life. I can't set a bad example, so I took to something needs to be done. So I got a cycle for myself. Running, I still hated it, and I started cycling 1 or 2 kilometers. Realized that I was starting to deal with early issue of back pain also, and one thing led to the other. I said something needs to be seriously done.
That was a wake up call.
That was a wake up call. Yeah. That I can't let her. And she was just about 2 years or 2.5 years old. I said before she can start speaking, I need to
observing
I need to do something about it. And one thing led to the other. I have some good friends who kind of guided me. Dr. Contractor, Ashish Contractor, he guided me for my backache. He actually said, go to Key Spine, get it checked. There could be many reasons for, that you could be dealing with it. I met another physiotherapist, Dr. Rishita, and she said, we'll get you fit on the back, but what next? And I was trying to reclaim my outdoor life around that time, because I had reached a level of career where I could, be a little more looking at myself than just be on the treadmill and run the rat race, and started signing up for outdoor treks. And that's when the doc said that why don't you knock off some weight, so that the weight of the backpack when you go for your trek that'll be about 10 kgs easily. And so I said, okay, I need to lose 10 kgs. So what do I do? He said, start running. So I said, okay.
Now there's no escape. I have to lose weight.
I have to do something. So I said, I can't. I hate running. I said, start with 300 meters, start with 500 meters, and we'll take it up. And I just started with very, very short runs. I couldn't run beyond 1 kilometer. And then she asked me one day, this coach of mine, said, what do you like to do next? And I said, I've always had on my bucket list, I've always gone and cheered people on the Mumbai Marathon. That time it was SCMM, 2004-5. So I've always gone and cheered. I would like to run a half marathon someday. Sign up now. So this was 2012.
2012. How old were you that time?
I was 2012. I was 40 exact.
40.
Yeah.
Correct.
So by 2013, my back was sorted, and she said, "Run." So I said, "No, I can't." She said, "You have 6 months. January. We are in August. Train." I said, "No, I can't." She said, "Start tomorrow morning and report to me." Within 6 months, I ran the first half marathon. 2014, I ran my first half marathon. Those 6 months, how I trained, only I know. Getting up at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, only to ensure that I finished my training so that I could be back at breakfast at 6 o'clock with my daughter before she goes to school, because those are precious moments for me. They still are. And that ensured that I realized that, okay, physical fitness is important.
So the marathon was the first major achievement in your transformation journey. When you realize that, I have to turn my life around and get back to fitness, getting back to feeling better about myself. My daughter is seeing me. I want to lead by example and also live a healthier life ahead.
True. So first started was run the half marathon. I thought it will be just a bucket list and done and finished. Ho gaya. It's what now close to 11 years, wow. Right? 14 and 11 years. And I've run about 15 half marathons across the country, 9 in Mumbai itself, 9 the TMM itself, a few in the suburbs as well. And what occurred to me that time is that if you are picking up a goal or a purpose, just go for it. And purpose drives you. And that then I kept as a purpose that I will run minimum 1 half marathon every year and 1 cycling or a trekking trip every year, because that will keep me on a training mode forever.
Right.
And effectively allow me to then enjoy my butter chicken. So food and drink are the only incentive.
The Punjabi in you is still there.
The Punjabi in me can't be taken away.
I
So
say.
you can take a man out of Punjab, but you can't take a Punjabi out of a person. So that made me realize that have a purpose, be on the learning mode, pedal hard, and run strong, and rest will be taken care of. So whether it's at work, I've always in my travel, in my banking days, the first thing I always pack now, even now, is my running shoes. I wish I could carry my cycle in a small suitcase, but it's always the running shoes first, even if it's a day trip. So I never gave myself an excuse not to go I always went prepared for a short jog at least. A funny incident, it was a deal I was involved in. We were with the chairman of the largest bank in the country and chairperson, and there were the lady, Madam Arundhati, and we had to in every deal you take the borrower, issuer in this case, to meet investors. So one of my other banking colleagues from another bank, he was going to fill in for one or two meetings. I was going to fill in for one or two meetings. So early morning, we finished the call with Asia, which was 7:30 London time. We were in London, and she said, "Are you coming for this meeting?" And I said, "No, ma'am. This gentleman, he'll take you. I'll meet you the meeting after that. That's my turn." She said, "Fine. What will you do?" I didn't have the courage at that time to tell her what I'll do.
Outrightly.
Inside my suit was my running gear. Oof. I rushed to the room, removed my suit, just wore my running shoes, went for a 5K run, came back, quickly showered again.
Ready for the meeting.
Met her for the meeting, and she said, "What do you do?" So I said, "Ma'am, I went for a run." So it's by that time the addiction
deal done.
deal done, running done, successful trip. So yeah, those are funny things that when it starts narrating, you realize that. But fitness,
running
health,
fitness health. We had a couple of guys from Scott Echo last week, and he told us, "Ki Path, I'm carrying 3 running pairs of shoes with me. Can you imagine?" And he's asking, his hotel was in Powai. Where do I run?
So now I can't travel without first putting in the running shoes.
Amazing. And if you see now, over the last 12 years, 10 years, sport has grown on you. Running, which you hated, now it's a big part of your life. You recently ran the Tata marathon. And cycling has also, you've gone on so many expeditions, you've met so many like-minded people. And it has also impacted and, in a positive way, the way you think and look at life. Tell us about your cycling experiences, the people you've met, and how they have transformed the way you think. And the second part of my question is, what analogy do you draw in life? What has cycling taught you?
A good friend, cyclist, a very, very dear friend, somebody I've always admired, mentored. He mentors me, and somebody who I actually look up to for a lot of things in life is a gentleman called Jaideep Khanna. He pulled me into he says, enough of running. This was 2014 after I finished off 2 half marathons, because I'd done the Tata, at that time January marathon, Stanchart. And then in February, colleagues of mine pulled me into doing something in Delhi. And said, enough of running, we are going Manali Leh.
Out of the blue.
And I said, yes. I just said yes. And he said, get a bike and just get on it. So I said, yes, I want to do it. And I had a very, on a bucket list, but I was not sure I'll ever be able to do it. Is that when I did Manali Leh on 2 previous trips, one on a 4-wheeler in a Jeep, and in 2009 on a motorcycle, Bullet, I used to see these Westerners cycling, and I said, someday I want to do it, but I don't think I can do it, but someday. And one trip on Moray Plains, if you've been on that road, I saw a gentleman pedaling with his hands. So he had no legs.
Okay.
It was that
The hand bicycle.
hand bicycle.
Right.
I said, if he can get this high, I think even I can. And that stayed, I don't know, this was probably 2010, 11, or the bike trip, the motor. But when in 15, Jaideep said, Manali Le. I said, done. And I must give a lot of credit to back home family, which is my wife and daughter. And every trip, they've been the most supportive to allow for all these long trips, boys trips, as we kind of call it, but it's no longer a boys group. We have, and that's when I kind of realized that's when I started enjoying cycling as a social and a physical combined. We climbed those mountain passes together. It was the only trip. I've gone on treks also across those passes. It was the only trip I did not suffer from acute mountain sickness. Prior to that, even on a mobike, even on a jeep, even on a trek, I've had mountain sickness. But on cycling, that trip, I was very conscious about it. I did a few things which some of them didn't enjoy, having garlic every day. There's a joke around that in our group, but and that's when I kind of came back and I said, and by the way, I went on that trip on a Scott bike.
Is it?
It's still with me. It's the hybrid that I actually picked it up. It's still with me. I would use it for outdoors off and on, and that was pre the graduation onto a road bike. But that's when I realized the fact that cycling and life are or any sport for that matter, they teach you a few of the things which and that's the comment I made in the beginning, right? That sports is an important aspect that of any curriculum. It should be there. You deal with highs and lows. You are able to make friends and camaraderie kind of sets in. There is no everybody need not have a high day every day. There are down days, there are up days. There's a climb, there's a downhill. You need to keep your brakes checked, etc. But the most important thing is, do not stop pedaling. You stop pedaling, you'll fall. So it's just like life. Just keep moving on. Life will throw shit at you, but just keep moving on. You stop,
you stall, you'll fall.
You stall, you fall. Exactly.
But if you keep pedaling, although you're slow,
you keep moving.
You're still moving.
Keep moving. Take a break if you have to.
Yeah.
So many times I've got off the saddle, had my sip of water. That Manali to Leh trip, we used to stop every few 100 meters because it was lack of oxygen.
Correct.
Altitude as well as incline, both combined. And I remember this buddy of mine, Arun Segal, we kind of teamed up and said, we'll ride together. And every 500 meters we'll stop, sip of water or a little protein, but do not give up. Do not give up. Keep pedaling. Take a break. Take a rethink. Enjoy the view. So stop at a dhaba. On a long cycling trip, we were just last week out riding in Sri Lanka for Dr. Joshi's 70th birthday.
Oh.
And we stopped at dhabas or roadside. We've traveled around in Italy, cycling, coffee shops, enjoy the scenery. So it's a mirror of life that do not stop, keep pedaling. B, enjoy the view. There will be down days. There will be cramps. There will be falling off sometimes. Breakdowns.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Repair. Move on. Keep moving. Hard days, muscle will be sore. Relax. Massage it. Foam roller always carries. I always carry my foam roller. So it's a mirror of life. In fact, funny you said that the other day when we were cycling in Sri Lanka, and we were one of my other colleagues next to me, Push, he came across. He said, "Isn't just like life? There's an uphill and there's a downhill." I said, "Exactly. Just keep pedaling." So yeah, cycling has brought a lot of us as friends, common interests, shared interests. Sometimes we try and solve the world's problem while we riding together.
I know there's so much thinking you do
so
because you're by yourself on the saddle.
Yeah.
There's a lot of calculations and nuances you're doing in your mind.
That it's the only time whether it's running or cycling, it gives you your me time. It's like meditation.
True.
So for me, that sport is what people find in meditation. I find in
Yeah.
cycling or running, either.
Yes.
I run in cities, I cycle outdoors.
Ashwini, you've seen it all. You've worked in the corporate for so many years, and you know the hustle culture, and you've traveled the world. You've also, you've been at a very high position in the corporate. Still, you found little time for your health, and you started running, you started cycling. A lot of our audience who are watching today, they are in the corporate. They leave home at, let's say, 8 and they come home in the evening by 7. What is your advice to them? How can they find that 1 hour for them? What is the silver lining to give that 1 hour to yourself, which will take them a long way?
If you don't do it, you will fall sick. You will have issues. Today, my sleep apnea is gone. My hypertension's gone. I'm off all kinds of medicines. I am the same weight which I was 30 years back when I came into Bombay City to work. I lost weight because of physical activity. I gained a lot of confidence, energy, less because of physical activity. So a message to youngsters or to the corporate career: do not ignore your physical activity. Do at least start small. If with 10 minutes, if that's all you got in the morning, start something. And those 10 minutes, you'll realize that the dopamine that kicks into you will naturally push you to do it 10 to 15 to half an hour. You don't require more than 45 minutes of working 5 days a week, of which if 2 are over the weekend, you actually then only require.
It's not a big ask.
It's not a big ask. Choose your best time. For me, mornings work very well.
Right.
At 4 a.m. I've cut watching TV. I do not watch TV anymore. It's been about 10 or 12 years.
Wow, yeah.
The night TV. I used to be awake
just binge watching, something is playing
till 12
around.
a.m. in the night. I used to be watching TV and then fall off to sleep. Now I don't. Now I sleep at 9:30. And I get up at 5. I've got up on long run days. I get up at 4 and out before the heat can hit you, and still have my full day. You'll see the difference within a few. The first 2 to 3 months are tough.
Yeah. You're getting off the mark. It will be tough. It's something new. You're starting out.
Yeah.
Of course.
That requires a bit of either pushing yourself. I've got goal setting helps.
Yeah. And sticking to it, committing yourself to that, and then never give up. Just, I have to make a change in my life.
I decided I want to do the half marathon, and I went around telling the world. Now I've told everybody, every colleague, now I can't not do it, so I have to train. I told people I'm going Manali Leh. I told my parents. They said, "Are you sure?" I said, "I'm going cycling Manali Leh." They were happy. Yeah. "Are you sure?" I said, "I'm going to train for it." Once you commit to a goal, you will naturally start doing something. So don't take physical activity as a chore. Do it as towards a goal, and set that goal. It can be as small as a 5-minute doing every day to achieve better sleep, maybe, or to achieve 1 kg weight of loss, and then you're off it. I had thought that I'll do it only for a year or 2. I haven't stopped. It's been 12-13 years, and I don't intend to stop. I told my daughter I'll be running my half marathon even at the age of 80 with her. I've added the with her because I want her to run.
What does she say when looking at you doing?
She's the happiest seeing me. She doesn't like me sweaty, so she's not there cheering on my half marathons. But the first one she was there, first 2 ones. But she's the happiest to see me. She realizes, and she works out now on her own.
Yeah.
So I'm actually very glad that she's taken up to some form. And I always I keep saying that don't worry about your grades at school.
I swear.
Because what you will learn, what you will use, we don't know. And with the new world of AI, you don't even know.
Oh.
So, but at least do a sport, because that will help you just lead a good life. Yes. And that's the learning I've taken to my second career as well, is that 3 things. Just remain a learner, student of the market. My senior treasury dealer used to say, remain a student of the market. So remain a student always, remain active, and be just curious.
Absolutely.
To just what's happening.
I was just coming to your second leg of the conversation. A couple of years back, you have started something of your own. You've started a new community, a new venture. Why don't you tell us about what you're currently working on and how you're trying to bring a change in the society using sport?
So it all started, it is a couple of years back, formally, but it's not that I started, it's not my venture alone. It's a group of us who kind of came together, like-minded people. But more importantly, what bound us together was that we could see 2 things happening: our own parents as aging, but not dependent. That realization that when we age, what will keep us, and I give a lot of credit again to Manali Leh ride. Few of us were together. So the founder of GetSetUp, Neil, the co-founder Lawrence, we were all on the same trip. And in the mountains, you kind of philosophical conversations happen, right?
Yeah.
And we got talking about, will we be doing this in our 80s? And that thought probably was another one that got seeded in, is that what keeps us together as humans is social connections, shared purposes, feeling of community. And that's when it started seeping into various individual heads, the few of us, independently. But cut to 2020 or 2019, 2020, Neil, Lawrence, and Deval, founder, they set up GetSetUp in the US and India. And they pulled me in. They said, "You've been talking about banking is boring. Someday it will end for you. You will want to, so what next? And how about making GetSetUp India something which you plan to, because of your health and wellness journey, you are interested." They didn't even actually have to make a pitch. They had me at hello, and I said, "Neil, hang on, wait, I'm on. Let's talk." And so I started working as an advisor to them in the early days. But last 2 years, we've been growing the GetSetUp community, which is all about after the age of 50, 55, post your midlife.
Correct.
Solving for 3 questions that crossed your mind. One question that crosses every individual's mind is, will my wealth outlast me? Will my health outlast me? And will I have those 4 friends on that last day to wave out bye to me when I'm walking out of the planet? And that's a confluence of things happen, which or you can call it serendipity, for me when they were setting this up, and they said, there's learning in this, which is what I personally believe. There's health and wellness, which is physical well-being, mental well-being, nutritional. None of the sports is possible if you are not taking care of your mental and nutritional as well, along with the physical.
True.
And if
it goes hand in hand.
It goes hand in hand. In fact, I'm a believer as a marathon runner. I'm a believer if your mental fitness is better, your physical can take care of it.
Yeah.
Because that's the part which actually ensures that you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go for a run. Because it's a mental
direction and
exactly.
Yeah.
The mind has to be stronger to keep pedaling at those heights with that lack of oxygen, whatever it is. Right. So mental well-being is far, and especially as you're aging, you need to be socially well connected. Because your friends start disappearing, right? And if you are the last guy going out of the planet in your group of friends and waving out to everybody else, somebody should be there for you also, right? So you have to keep rebuilding your social connections, and that's where the concept of shared purposes, shared interests comes together. And building this community has been really enjoyable. We're building this for the last 2 years now, and have a very large community of learners. Peer-to-peer learning from your own peers. That's an important part of it. I rather be taught Instagram, AI, Claude, ChatGPT by my own peers than the patience level of a different age group or a non-peer. But the more important part is that as humans, as long as we are on a learning path, we'll be healthy.
So suppose today, if my grandparents want to join GetSetUp, what is the roadmap?
It's a very straight download the app of GetSetUp India and see your pathway, whichever one you like, whatever you want to learn. And what we've actually transformed in the last 18 odd months is that come onto the platform, make new friends, learn from them, and then meet them in the physical world. So today what we are doing is the same learning groups that have got formed. We are getting them to either perform on stage. So if it's a singing and dancing group who's enjoying learning some new activities, the hobbies that they missed out on, we'll create some kind of a activity or an event for them to come and participate. We take them traveling. Wow. We take them seeing new places, but not as a tourist, but as a learner.
And when you're active mentally, I don't know if there's some chemical reactions in your body, you actually don't get old that fast.
Yes.
You feel good.
You feel good. That's exactly the thought process with which the founders, we all put together and founded GetSetUp, is that we empower the people to stay and age well in place. Do not need to be dependent on anyone. Till you're physically, incapable of doing it, then you probably need care. But the stage in between, you don't have to be dependent.
One thing which I really liked out of this is that they're learning from each other. There is not a third person who is younger than them coming and telling, do this, do that. They're learning amongst themselves.
Why should there be? Because
which is very beautiful.
You don't turn 60 without life's experiences. So you have something. So there's something that you want and can teach, and there's something that you want to learn. So it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. So the people. So there are so many of our members who come and attend let's say a dance class to learn dancing, but in the evening they're teaching yoga.
Oh man!
So they're a teacher and a learner on the same platform.
Right.
And that's the beauty of it, because then it becomes a socially engaging, empowering. My other founder's father is in his 90s. He drives his car, and in his 90s, his own car. He doesn't wait for you to be driven around. So all those are inspirations that, okay, when we also be there, we don't want to be taken care of. And that's what it just gets set up on your own.
It's a great ring to it. And, we are setting up for having more about GetSetUp and see more of this, which brings me to the next part is, at Scott, we believe that there are no shortcuts. And we believe in doing the right things for the right reasons. And the greatest personal achievements are no accidents. They're hard-earned and well-deserved. And your story reflects a similar journey. No shortcuts, never give up. What does no shortcuts mean to you, Ashwini?
There are generally no shortcuts. You take life, you have to have firstly a goal and a purpose. And to achieve that goal or you have to be disciplined. You have to be tenacious. You have to take setbacks in your stride. It's not that just because there is no shortcut, it'll also be an easy path. No, it will be probably the hardest path, but it will be the only path which will allow you to reach your goal steadily and strongly. Every small, consistent step
goes a long way.
It has the compounding effect.
Superb. I have some rapid fire questions.
Wow.
What are your, evening cravings? Some maybe in food or some activity, some shenanigans.
It's always either a bhel or a chaat or it's always one of those.
Okay, cool. What is your most memorable ride till date?
The one that I rode, I would still say Manali Leh. The one that I didn't ride but I executed is a charity ride we did from Delhi to Mumbai non-stop.
Wow. Okay.
So these two actually shaped a lot in my head in terms of one at the personal level on the writing, and the other one on the execution to see just.
Cool. If you were to get your team signed up for a marathon or a bicycle event, how would you convince them?
It's for the beers, guys. Just do it for the beers. Earn your beers.
Yeah, so you can
Burn it to earn it.
Burn it to earn it.
Burn it to earn it.
Superb. Is there any signing off message you'd like to put out in the universe? Something which is very deeply close to you or personal to you? Or you'd like to speak on anything that we didn't capture?
I would just say, just get on the field every morning and put your best foot forward. In cycling terms, just keep pedaling. In running terms, just one foot after the other. And just treat life as a pedal after pedal after pedal after pedal. You'll just enjoy it. Enjoy the journey.
It's been very nice talking to you. And at Scott, we believe in no shortcuts, and it completely resonates with GetSetUp and kind of work you've been doing. We wish you all the best at GetSetUp and continue to do what you've been doing. More power and more energy to you all. So thank you so much, Ashwini, for being on the podcast with us.
Thank you, Parth. Thank you, Scott. It was really a pleasure. While talking, I kind of went back into memory lane myself, many things. So you've brought out some new things in my head as well. So thank you for that.
It was great chatting with Ashwini. Let us know what you think about the episode. Feel free to drop in your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram at Scott Sports India or on the Epilogue Media app. A big shout out to our friends at Epilogue Media who produced this show. Thanks a lot, and see you next time in the next episode.